Hello guys, Garcia here. Welcome back to the Camarilla Edition Reborn. Alright guys, so we're back. So in the last episode we finished the Plague Bearer quest. So now let's see what we need to do next here. Probably Grout already, I think. So let me double check here. Oh yeah, so we have the Larry quest too. I'm not sure if I want to do this one right now, if I want to postpone this one. Maybe until like Hollywood so I can get the new armor. Quote-unquote armor. I don't think I have enough money for a whole lot here. I have enough money for the third point in something. So either dodge or security or stealth here. So let me think. So what should I do here? I think maybe dodge is better. So that way maybe I can do the letter quest right now if I do this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Do I have enough research though? I'm not sure. I think 5. I have 5 because of the artifact here, right? So I think because of that, that will allow me to actually do the college here. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go with dodge. So I need talents, right? Okay. So that let me just save here just in case. All right. So talents here. So I need dodge 3. Raising Brawl right now is not going to do a whole lot for me. Okay, so the reason why I saved there is not only because I'm going to take the hits, but as I told you guys in my test playthrough before, I actually killed her a couple of times because I frenzied. So I'm just going... This is not the best place, by the way, to do this. The best place would be Santa Monica at the Haven there. Because this one I need to take the elevator and so on. But since Heather's here, I'll just feed on her here. And I can actually
anything I can do?
Ask her.
Please.
So I don't really need to even like attack her or anything like that. That said, her blood is not going to be enough, obviously. I have not killed the lady here. Okay, that's enough for me to maybe not frenzy, but let's go down. Alright, so other than Grout and Larry, what else do we have here? These I already did, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so let's go. Maybe I skipped something. Let me actually check the completed ones, actually. Because, as I said, every time I do this out of order, I get kind of crazy. Alright, so we have the Venus's quests here. We have the Pestilence quest for the Anarchs and for the Camarilla here. The Inquisitor's quests, Necromantic, sure. The Petty quests, yeah. I think it's okay. If you guys notice that I'm missing something here, please put in the comments down below. Alright, so let's see. I think I already fed on this guard, right? So I'm not sure. Or did I? Maybe? I'm going to save here, so if I kill this guy, I'm just going to load. I would rather not risk walking around with this, yeah, with this low blood count here, but not like I have an option right now. I mean, I could go to the sewers and feed on some rats, but that would take a while. I'm lazy. Okay, fledgling, duckling. Alright, my hero. He's always here when I need him. That said, I need to go fast. There's a lady coming. I'm going to use 1 blood heal here. 1 should be enough. Come on, this is taking forever. Thank you. Oh, she was way further away than I thought she was. Okay. Alright, so we survived. So now I have dodge 3 here, so defense 6 is pretty good. It's 6 because of the thistle, right? So I'll raise this later. I'm trying to use the points mostly on attributes and on disciplines. Right now I don't need to raise any discipline anymore for the rest of the game, so we're good. Alright, so let's try the Larry quest here. Let's see how this goes. So I'm using the... Yeah, this is the second one, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. The reason why I call these armor instead of like clothes or something like that, because that word, like clothes, I have extremely like, it's very difficult for me to say that word. The TH is the bane of the existence of every single non-native speaker. So I'd rather just call it armor and call it a day, you know what I mean? Maybe like a garb or something, like a synonym. That's one of the things that I learned about being a non-native speaker of a language, is that your biggest trump card, not that trump, but your biggest trump card for sure will always be the amount of synonyms that you know in that language. So the more like adjacent words you know about like any object or situation or verb that you can replace one with the other, you know, that will allow you to keep flowing, keep talking without thinking too much. Because that's another thing that's a problem for someone that is trying to learn a new language or is not good at that language, that secondary language, you know. Is like, how do you keep flowing? Like talking like a regular person without thinking too much, trying to find words to say, trying to like find the correct grammar in your head, you know what I mean? And the best way is synonyms, for sure. Knowing extra words for the same situation is always going to be like the best advice that I can give to anybody trying to learn a new language. It's funny because this is absolutely true, by the way. So you might not agree with this, but this is absolutely 100% true. The people that try to learn new languages the least are the native English speakers in the world, because obviously their language is already the international like language for like business and healthcare and all that other good stuff and research. So because of that, they feel less pressure to learn a new language. It's not that they like dismiss the other languages. It's just like there's no reason, you know. Such a complicated and long process, you know. So most people that speak other languages in English-speaking countries are either scientists or people that come from other countries. They have a different background. So, for example, a person that comes from like Mexico, from one of the Latin countries, might speak Spanish. Someone from Europe might speak the language of their country, and so on. So they don't have that much of an incentive to learn a new language, or you guys in this case, right? If you are from the States or Australia or Britain and so on. And that's not like a knock on you or anything like that. It's just like a matter of really, like a matter of like pragmatism, I would say. Like, why would you learn an extra language if your language is already covers you for like most of the areas in life in most parts of the world, you know what I mean? And there's also some languages that just looking at them, they look scary to learn, especially the ones that are based on alphabets that are not the regular alphabet that most languages use. So, for example, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, and so on, like the languages that just straight up have a different alphabet, or Greek. So you might have like another reason for people to learn languages. I forgot about that one, but that's absolutely true. Religion. So you have a lot of like, for example, like Jewish people that learn like what's the name of the language? Hebrew? Is that the name of the language? I think so. But they're like the most like languages related to their heritage, you know. So if the person like follows a religion that's like Italian or something like that, or something, or for example, even like Catholics, like scholars, might learn like Latin and stuff. So different people that have like different groups that have like different reasons to like learn different languages. But for regular people, you only need to learn a language if you are actually going to use it. So a mistake that most people commit is like they like to travel, so they like to like take a course of like 1 month to go to a place and be able to say thank you and so on. But that's not learning a language, that's like memorizing sounds and words, you know. Not the same thing at all. So I'll give you guys an example. I am a Japanese animation fan, right? So I've been watching anime since I was 5. I've talked about this many times before. So because of that, Japanese is very familiar to me. So if I watch something without subtitles, I mostly know what they are talking about. I cannot speak Japanese top to bottom at all. and I don't recognize all the characters in their alphabet. Hiragana and katakana, you know, they're two different alphabets that they have. Or the kanjis, which are the fused form or a few of those ideograms, I think they're called. But I do recognize the sounds, I recognize a lot of the words and expressions, so I wouldn't like starve in Japan in terms of like not knowing like how to even start a conversation. I would be able to. But that's just because I always watch Japanese animation. So because it's always in my life, that means that I'll always like at least recognize it. So if someone puts in front of me Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, which is something that people love to do, right? Compare those three languages. Like those people are all the same people. And they are completely different people with different alphabets and so on. So every time they do that, in like 1 second I can tell you what is Japanese, what is Korean, and what is Chinese. Right away, just because of my experience with the languages, you know? And yeah, I've watched some animations from China and from South Korea too, not North Korea, of course. I don't think they have too many animation studios over there. I think they did back in the day, but yeah, nowadays it's rough. So sorry if I went to this super long tangent about languages here, but just something that I was pondering. Because what was the hardest thing about learning a language for me was not even like identifying words or like learning the grammar, was the flowing aspect of it, like how you can like keep going without stopping and thinking too much. So you guys definitely, if you guys watch like many of my videos at this point, you guys obviously notice that sometimes I just eat words or eat the plural, or I don't conjugate a verb in the correct tense and so on, and I just keep going. The reason why I keep going is that if I stop every time I commit a mistake to think about that mistake and correct it in my head or in my speech, I will stutter every single time, and I won't be able to keep the flow going, you know what I mean? So because of that, I just decided, I realized that I committed a mistake, but I can't stop. So you have to keep going, you know? So when you don't speak a language top to bottom, like I don't, in the case of the English language, I just need to keep going, you know? So yeah, if you hear something awful and you're like, oh my god, that was bad, that's because that's also the same feeling that I had, but I just can't stop, because if I stop and acknowledge every single mistake, it just doesn't work, you know what I mean? It just doesn't flow, so you have to just eat the mistake and keep going, basically. And another thing that I learned that also ended up making learning a different language like super easy for me is that most people don't speak their own languages that well at all. I'm just double checking to see if I get it. I'm pretty sure I got the car stereo, yeah. So most people don't speak their own language that well at all to begin with. So you don't need to be a super like awesome speaker of anything, and like you don't need to speak everything correctly all the time. You just need to be able to like send your message, you know, to get an idea across well enough. Because most people in any given language, the regular people, I should qualify that, most people like regular average citizens from any country don't speak their language top to bottom as well, so you don't need to worry about it. Hey Larry.
Baby girl.
Hey.
Ouch. Yeah, that's beautiful. Now just drop this off to the...
Alright, so we got our haggling point. So I don't think we're going to haze. See? That's funny. So I don't think we are going to raise haggle all that much here anymore, right? There's no red spots in Hollywood. There's no what would I call this? An event? No, there's not an event. What is the word for this? Scenario. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's no scenario in the red spot, which means that I'm going to have as much haggle right now as I'm going to have for the rest of the game, right? So I think I'm going to just sell my stuff here and get all the money and use the college here. I think that's the best idea here right now. So I think I can go to Brawl 4 if I wanted to here. I'm going to have enough money if I sell my stuff. I already have enough money here, actually, because the Larry quest ended up giving me way more money than I was expecting to get here. But I'm thinking about what else do I need to buy here. I need to buy a couple of armor still. By the end of the game, I'm going to have enough money to buy the weapons, that I'm pretty sure of. But I'm not sure if I should just kick the bucket here and just buy everything right now, meeting the college points. So instead, you know what? I'm going to buy one more and just leave it for later, the rest. So what should I go for here? I think I want to go with... I already did the museum, so after the... No, I didn't do the museum, that's a lie. I did the Dane, right? I did the Dane. After that, we're gonna go to the Grout's Mansion. So yeah, I'm going to put on stealth, actually. I have enough points to put on stealth, but I'm going to use this point somewhere else here on my sheet here. So yeah, I'm going to just straight up... actually, I thought of something here. I think I'm going to put 1 point in manipulation, like for the first time ever, just to get an extra haggle point. This is 6, this is 4. Yeah, so I can just sell my stuff for more money, basically. I don't do this, basically ever, but in this mod, having the extra money is actually going to be useful. So this might be a mistake. In the other playthrough, I didn't do this, but... Oh, sorry, I messed up everything here. So, stealth. Here. That's correct. So, 3. Yeah. Okay. So, I wish I could read this stuff, but I can't. See, so we are already not that down in blood as before, as we were taking the hit before, you know? So, the hit is not as severe. And that's because we put in a stamina point here, as you can see. So, stamina, extra stamina is going to be like key here. And also research. So I raised something from 2 to 3, right? So if I raise brawl from 3 to 4, that will be more time, which means that I'll take a huge, bigger hit in my blood pool here. So you need to take all of these into consideration here. So I think I have everything that I need to sell here. All right. So I apologize for the long-winded languages talk here, but when I start doing that, I just need to keep going to see where I'm going to end up, you know what I mean? I was one of those guys that in like high school or in the university, I would sit in the front row. I would answer every teacher's like questions and stuff. I was friend with them. Yeah, I was that guy. Teacher's pet, I guess. But I was respected, and that was way more important to me than being friends with anybody in the school, to be honest. I always been like very pragmatic in my life. That felt like a way better decision. Alright, so let's go. Oh yeah, I need to sell the stuff. So after this, oh, we got a weird glitch there. You guys saw that? Let me see if I can recreate this. Kinda in this angle here. I think it's because I went from this to a higher ground here, like this, for example. Or maybe I switched the perspective too quick.
Baby girl.
Okay. All right, so let's sell this. This. I think I can sell all of these. Let me sell just the ones that I know I'm going to get again, which are these two here. The other ones I'm going to keep here. This one I can sell. Alright, so that will definitely give me enough money for a few extra sessions, but we're not going to use them right now. As I said in the beginning of the playthrough, the plan here is to space them out as much as possible. That said, we already did like 2 today, right? Okay. So that's enough for a 1,000, right? But I don't need any 5 right now. So stealth will be great in the museum. Great thing about the museum, there's no book, right? So when I go there,
Hop in.
I don't need to enter that that basically small guardhouse that they have there in the basement of the museum, because there's no book there. So I don't need to worry about it.
You.
Hey, I know you.
What are you doing here?
Same question. Might ask you the same thing.
Out now.
Really?
You should get out of here. This.
Sure. The idea of Nines saying "pardon me" is just so funny to me. I am an anarch. Pardon me. You know what I mean? Talk about controlled rage. Alright, so as always, potency is going to be great for feeding here. I think this is very standard. Very standard. Pretty standard. But I could be wrong, maybe there's something extra here. Oh, hey. Yeah, that final punch is so amazing.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am
What? Why did I do that? I was trying to press 1, I actually pressed the button that opens the console. That's so annoying, sorry. I don't know why that happened.
An unfortunate phenomenon in particular
Okay.
of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that
really?
overlooks the physical
I
component
didn't know
of
that.
psychological pathology
That's
time
awesome.
and again in favor of the
That's my record.
sadistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, another unfortunate casualty to
Insane
tide
asylums.
of time, insane asylums. I
That's so
lament
intricate.
their
Look.
loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized. The newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Alright. There's a movement here in Brazil to this day. I'm going to say the name in Portuguese. I'm going to try to explain what the movement is in English. So, in Brazil here, we call it the Luta Antimanicomial, or algo assim. So we call these insane asylums here in Brazil manicômio. And I know there's a small difference, but basically the same idea. So the reason why this fight exists here, which is basically
My studies
a fight against insane asylums, basically, because of the mistreatment. Because if you go back in history, and maybe to this day, to be honest, lots and lots of insane asylums that existed. Oh, nowadays they don't have obviously this name anymore. This name is frowned upon nowadays. But if you go in history, it's one of the places in which not most, but like a lot of what happened there in those places were absolutely like inhuman stuff, right? And here in Brazil, they found in the early, I think it was 70s or 80s, if I'm not mistaken, when they started going in these places to inspect them, they started seeing like the disaster of like the quote-unquote care that those people would receive in those places. There's people walking around naked and like shitting on the floor, and people that weren't fed correctly, people that were hurt and injured and just walk around the halls not knowing where they were, because obviously they have mental conditions that are pretty severe and so on. So because of that, it started a movement here to either close or repurpose all of those facilities and change them for the better, you know, or create some sort of new system to take care of those people, you know. So I need to go down first. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, opposite. No, wait. It's here, right? Yeah. So, every time I enter here, I remember of that. I'm reminded of that, actually. Because when I was like 13, 14 years old,
After decades.
a lady came to give us a talk in my school about it. And she showed us some pictures that were not like super graphic, but they were graphic enough to like cause a like create a sense of injustice in you, you know, especially when you're so young and you don't have like too much of like a reference frame. So because of that, every time I think about asylums, even though I'm a huge horror fan, and I already talked about it before, asylums are great, like settings for horror movies and stuff, because they were horrific in real life too. But every time I think of that lady in that talk, because my god, that brutalized me when I was young. I was not ready to see or to learn what I learned that day, you know? But yeah, it's a real problem that is around to this day and will take forever. Because to this day, people don't respect mental health issues that much. I know because I've had mental health issues my entire life. So I know that a lot of people dismiss them and so on. Until they themselves have it, right? So then they come back to Jesus, you know what I mean? Then they finally become believers. When it happens to them, right? But yeah, so every time I see insane asylums, half of my brain is the horror old brain, right? Oh, this would be awesome for a horror movie and stuff. And the other half is reminded of the fight against these types of institutions, at least the way they work nowadays. So where's the tarot thing? Is it here? Yeah, there you go. I pressed every single one already. There you go, finally. So there you go. If you think I know this game from top to bottom, Exhibit A, I have no idea which one I need to press to this day. I've done this like 100 times. To this day, just swing and a miss here. There you go. Okay. And I talked about this really recently. But someone like me would go to those facilities right away with the things that I have. I would be diagnosed and I would be probably lobotomized, to be honest. So there will be no YouTube channel because I wouldn't even know my name. So yeah, I was born in the correct time period, I guess. Okay. A lot of talking today, huh? That's because I slept, because usually when I record this, I record in the AM hours, right? 1 AM, 2 AM, 3 AM, and so on. And I am recording at the AM hours here, but I did sleep earlier today. So because of that, I'm more energized, I would say. So I apologize to your ears. Come at me, bro. There you go. So the impact of the punch is just like enough to, like, if you never played with the puncher character in this game before. Oh, we already got back the weapons like right away. So that like feeling that you get when you punch anything with potence on is already enough to justify a playthrough, to be honest. It's so good. So when you have super high potency here, you can actually, sometimes when you are feeding on an enemy, and you activate potence, for example, and you are using potence to feed on the enemy, or especially like without potence, and you use blood heal while feeding, what happens is, usually you let the person go, so you need to grab them again. But when you have potence, especially potence 5 like I have here, it doesn't matter, you can use anything. because any discipline, because you are not going to need to grab them again, you know, because they are not going to be able to free themselves from your clutches, you know what I mean? There's like a kind of a music in the background. You guys can hear it, or can you guys hear it? You know what this place feels like? This is something that back in the day I didn't felt, or I didn't understand this place like that because it was not a concept back then. But nowadays, you know how this place feels? The back rooms. This place feels a lot like one of those backrooms levels of those many games that are released like every few months. Malcolm. So you stay right there, Vandal. Or not Vandal. Okay. Alright. I prefer I like the older version more than this one, to be honest. The one that had the stars on top of it. Also, this is also a side quest, not a side quest. It's even like a place that you really don't need to go when you're playing. So it's basically not a necessary part of the. Oh, I need to touch the door first. So it's not part of the regular playthrough here. So you can just bye. So you can just keep going. You know what these creatures remind me of? If you are a horror fan, you are going to know. Craven Manor. You guys remember that game? It's kind of a difficult game to explain, really. Wrong side. Here. Getting a bunch of phone calls here. So yeah, this place is, you don't need to visit this place at all, but I like it. You know. I like this place a lot too. I don't know how to say these in English. Glass panes? Like in Minecraft? In Portuguese we call those vitrais. Which are basically paintings on glass, right? Okay. I am no longer safe. Is this one?
I am no longer safe.
I know it.
I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention. I no composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know.
Here?
I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife.
Here.
The cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was...
There you go. I don't know if he ever mentions what is the problem with his wife. I know she has something, right? But what is the I was going to say disease, but I don't even know if it's a disease, like a condition or something. Or did she die and he was trying to like revive her? I don't know. That's why he kind of froze her in that thing there. Okay.
They lose the cleansed by the flames. How is that? As you let
this is funny. But just because he's German, or at least he's portrayed like a German guy, Bach that is. For some reason, it reminded me of another reason, like that people learn languages, war. So a lot of people back in the World War I and World War II, especially days, because they had to flee to different countries and stuff, but they fled to countries that mostly were like connected to their heritage in a way. So if you were German and you needed to flee, you went to Austria and so on. So because of that, a lot of people had to learn languages that were similar to their own, but were not the same, obviously. So a lot of like Russian people, or like a lot of Polish people would speak like Russian, and a lot of like Germans would speak like different languages that were similar from like the Eastern European countries and stuff. And refugees obviously have to like learn everything, not because they wanted to, but because it is what it is, you know. That's the best argument for the entire history of mankind. Is just, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. That's a reason for everything.
Evening there. Sure.
The burgers. I don't know why I swung the weapon, the imaginary weapon there for some reason. Grout's dead. What?
The Primogens still haven't... Grout's dead? What?
I love it.
Bark! Bark is a... Look at me. It means I need to confer you're becoming... The manifest from...
Oh, give me the money?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Here are the keys to the...
Sure.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the...
Okay. Alright, so we have... we have enough for a full session here. Should I do it? I'm not sure. I don't like exactly need to. So we already lost 1 point here. I'm going to show you guys. But this was not a mistake. It was like something that I didn't knowing that I would lose the point. So here. This version of the the Camarilla Edition, it uses the old method of distributing points in dialogues, which means that now we have rhetoric 3, right? So we would get the 4th point from Beckett in the museum if we were playing like Clan Quest, for example. But because this is the older version, so it has the older system in place, as far as I know. So that means that I needed to have only 2 rhetoric here. So he will give me the 3rd point. Because of that, I don't think I'm going to get the 4th rhetoric point from him. And probably if I put another point here, and then we have the Society of Leopold, and I have that dialogue with him, in which he gives me the other scholarship point. If I have 4 here, he probably is not going to give me another point either, you know. So because of that, we're probably only going to get peanuts from him, like a couple XP points at best. So I'm going to just raise charisma via, I'm going to raise persuasion via charisma here for now. Alright, so if I'm going to do this, I could improve brawl already, I could improve security. Computer would not be bad here. I don't remember. I think there's the CD quest, but I'm not sure. So I'd better not risk with computer right now, I think. The next point in terms of XP probably is going to go to wits here. So I can raise hacking without worrying too much about the next point here. I probably should just raise security. Yeah. So let's just go do that real quick, then we'll go to the museum. So as I said, it gets more complicated the longer it goes on, because when you start, you don't have points in anything, right? So what you need to do is just put points in stuff that you know that you're going to use like right away. I need to open that door, so security points. I need to be stealthy in that section of that quest, so points in stealth and so on and so on. But later, it starts becoming more of a problem, like to choose what you're going to do. Because you really do need everything. like having like a higher value, obviously, but you don't know the order exactly. Because if you go, oh, I need this for the museum, so I'm going to put a point in stealth, for example. But then, like, one quest in Hollywood breaks my legs because I didn't put a point in something that I needed. But then you might say, dude, you know the game, so you're supposed to know, like, where to put the points. Yeah, but the difference is now I have to pay for those points. So I also need to juggle how much money I'm going to spend. That's why I'm not raising Brawl to 4 right now, because I don't think I want to spend 750 before going into Hollywood, because I need to buy the armor. So I would rather pay 500 for security. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a... It's not exactly the same process. I'm going to drop the ducky here. I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to get everything that I need for the Posters quest. I'm going to drop it here. Oh, I don't have anything. Because the... What was the item that I gave to... Oh yeah, the picture from Milligan, from like Ghost LA or something, is actually for that quest, so it's not for the Posters quest, so we're going to like have to use a different item.
Finally, you're back.
There you go. So how I'm using, I'd rather you showed your love with gifts.
I almost forgot. I gotta call.
Yes. Thanks.
I'll try to get more, you know, when I can.
Thank you. There you go.
Anything for you.
Alright, so I think
Anything for you.
we are already at the point that she's going to give me the dialogue line to save her. So I just need to go to the museum first, right? Alright, so I got an extra 500 here. That gives me more leeway, but I'm just going to go with security right now. Oh, I have an email. What do we got? Oh, I didn't use the email here yet. Really? Sunrise. A sacrifice, sure. So talents, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry. There you go. No, not talents. Skills. Here. Security. Oh, that's crazy. Security 3. Okay. The complete book of locks and locksmithing. There you go. So as you can see, there's a small like problem with the system, which is there's cool and funny descriptions for every single level that you go up in everything on the college, which is obviously cool, something that would be nice to be able to read. The problem is you can't read them because if you do, you're gonna die. So that's kind of an oversight there. Oh, actually, the next point needs to go to research, actually. Yeah. Not to wits. I'm not going to need hacking right now. Or soon. So, should be okay. Alright, so let's see if my hero is going to show up here right away. I'm going to call him Tony. Come on, Tony. It's me and you, bro. There you go. My man. What a nice guy. Selfless, not as strong of a word. As strong of a word. That would like to use to describe this guy. He's a blood brother, you know what I mean? Well, this is very convenient. We devised the system here. So because every time you enter a building in this version and you come out, they basically replenish their blood pools. That means I can do this reliably every single time, which is great. Because when I start putting like 4 or 5 in my skills, those will be huge hits to my blood pool. Which means that if I have a system in place that can like conveyor belt style give me blood, that will absolutely help me here. Okay. Alright. Most kindred see anarchs as jackals. So, good old Madame Leota is not here. Yeah. She's on Santa Monica. Yeah, I'm already becoming old. just that music, that style of music brings me so much more, many memories already. And I'm in my 30s. So how the hell I'm nostalgic for that already? That's crazy. Let's be very careful with the jump here. Let's see where they are. Oh, he's like standing still there for some reason. Okay. So first we need the key. Am I on the right side? Yeah. I have stealth 6 right now, right? Where is it? Sneaky. There you go. I was trying to look for stealth. I need to look for sneaky. So that's enough to get the key without needing to go to the bathroom there. If I don't mess up. Let's go.
Freeze!
Yeah, I did mess up, but I don't think it's enough either. It didn't feel like it was enough. Yeah, I could try again, but let's just go to the bathroom. It's quicker. Okay. So I have a random trivia for you guys here. So every time I see the cop in Bloodlines, the one with the blue, the regular cop, right, with the blue shirt and so on, I always remember of like Hellraiser 4, I think. Which, if I'm not mistaken, no joke, I think it's called Bloodline 2. Hellraiser Bloodlines or something like that. I don't know if it's like the 4th or 5th. Yeah, I think it's the 4th. Because in that movie there's a couple of cops that are twins, so we have twin cops. And when I say twins, they are literally twins, like the twin actors. And they work on the building that the main character of the movie lives on. They are trying to like look for something. I don't remember what they were trying to look for there. Come on, game. So they dress exactly like the cops in Bloodline. So every time, we probably need to jump onto the PC here first. Physics. Oh. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try my luck here. Seems better. Hug the wall.
Freeze!
Yeah. This is so annoying. Because they put an object right in the path of your jump here. Which is the PC here. So because of the collision, you touch both when you jump, right? Like this. Come on, you can do it, bro. Finally. Ooh, okay. So the reason why I remember of that movie every time is because D is like on my top 5 of most brutal kills of all time in a horror movie. For those twins, when they meet Pinhead, right? Pinhead kind of forces them to meet him, basically. He modifies the structure of the building in a way to like funnel them onto him, on the room he's in, you know. That's that movie that in which Pinhead has the Kerberos, the dog from hell. And I think they say something along the lines of, if you are not going to put your hands up, be prepared to feel pain or something like that. and Pinhead answers saying, I am the pain, or I am pain, something like that, in a way that only Doug Bradley could deliver, really. And then he proceeds to, and I shit you not if you never watched any Hellraiser movie, he proceeds to join the two twins. And when I say join, I don't mean Jeanette and Therese, I mean physically join them. So he uses a bunch of different like metallic utensils basically to join them together, so they become like earthworm Jim, their heads, and they like join together in flesh basically. Just like that experiment from Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death from Nazi fame. He used to try to join twins and other people. He would literally saw them in half and join them to see if it worked. And that's not urban legend, by the way. People saw that. So yeah, every time I see these cops, I remember of those cops. Damn it, I'm just not hitting the correct time here. Come on. Help me out here. Thank you. Oh jeez. But there's a cop outside here, I think. Or not. Alright. Sorry. Let's go. Enough Hellraiser talk. Ooh. Alright, worked. So the trick here with the cameras is not like never being seen. The trick with the cameras is like entering their space and then exiting quick enough, basically. So basically the idea here is if you need to be seen by the cameras for a second, you can. You are not going to activate the alarms, you know. But I need to get the... Yeah, that one's going to see me, I think. Yeah. I think that's okay. So if you need to, like... I can activate here again, yeah. So if you need to enter, like, the range of the camera for some reason, and then you need to... Let's just do this. I just need enough time to be able to enter the door, really. So if you need to enter the range of the camera, you need to enter and then exit like extremely fast. Or just like I did there, you will get caught. But it doesn't mean anything, really. You don't lose anything by getting caught. You just have to deal with the cops, you know what I mean? Okay. Alright, so this guy will be alerted, so I'm going to chill here. Oh, there you go. No point in chilling. That's one hell of a punch. Without potence, by the way. I don't even know if it matters if I go through one of the lasers here, but whatever. Hey, chill out. Oh. Hopefully them dying by touching the trap there doesn't like affect me in any way. I never thought about that, but what happens if they die by themselves instead of me doing anything? Well, I guess I'm going to know right at the end of the quest here. If I get the extra points for not killing anybody. Sir?
I can't understand why. I'm an archaeologist.
I know.
Since it's missing. Oh, Armageddon. No one. Cain. Thin. As I human. What For 300 years I've...
There you go, got 2 XP, so I didn't get the scholarship point as I thought. Or the next evolution.
Yes, I've heard that theory before. Remember, the truth won't be told in time. It will be told by us.
There you go. Yeah, worked. So if they hurt themselves on the trap there, it's fine. Alright, good to know. That's the quintessential 90s song there.
Where to?
Here. Alright, so now that we devised the system to feed here, it should be easier to upgrade our skills here. So I have 10. So what should I do with the 10 here? Research, right? Yeah. There you go. Before I forget. Let's just deliver the quest LaCroix here.
What?
See you, champ. I don't think I'm going to frenzy here on Elysium, but blood count's not that high right now.
The folly of leadership. I pronounce the blood hunt. At least I... Stolen? Stolen! Then I want him... The Nosferatu. Hollywood's Baron is an... Find Gary.
I'm pretty sure that if I ask for money here, he's going to get mad and not going to give me. Alright, so in the next episode, the first thing that we need to do is to go back home to save Heather, to see if we have some new emails too. Alright guys, so we'll continue this in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.